Hi guys! So if my voice is a little bit weird, then that's because I have a slight sore throat, so that's something you can expect for the next couple of videos. But today I want to talk about my next read, which is sort of part of a little challenge for myself because I want to pick a new release every month and listen to it. And yeah, something fresh because, for the other challenges, I'm reading kind of mostly older books. So I want to read something really fresh. So my next read is actually a thriller. It's by Mary Kubica, which is actually very funny because her last name, Kubica in my language, in Hungarian, it can be read as Kubica. So in my head, I keep reading it like that. I have no idea where she's from originally because everything just says that she's an American author, but obviously her last name is kind of Eastern European. So, or it could be it could even be a married name. I have no idea. Anyway, so the release for February is It's Not Her. I know it's kind of late in February, but yeah, I've been busy with other books. And this is actually just not long ago came out. So It's Not Her is a thriller. So I've already started it, but not a lot. But what I want to do with this book is something a little bit new, is that I want to fill myself at around 50% to talk about my theories about the book. So that may not involve makeup. It may involve makeup. It depends on what sort of day I have, because I don't do makeup every day. And so that's going to be a spoiler video. And then I want to do a video I'm not sure if I'll be able to, because I'm thinking of doing a video at 90%, which will be because I was told that at 90% there's some sort of big reveal. So I want to film myself listening to this big reveal. I may be able to do it, maybe not. But I'm also going to do at the end of the book a video of that's going to be a spoiler, that is going to talk about how my theory panned out. So that's it. But I'm also going to do the regular review video, which is spoiler free, or at least not any major spoilers. So this book is dual point of view. It's one point of view is sort of a present, it's Courtney, and there's another point of view which is Reese, who is so is Courtney's niece, and her point of view is kind of in the past, so that's kind of exciting, and we'll see how this pans out. Okay, so let's see what the synopsis of the book is, so that you can get a sense whether you would like to read this or not. If you would like to read it, then start reading, and then when I do the 50% video, then you can sort of see how you did, or like if you're vibing with me, if you think the same stuff that I am thinking of. So yeah, we can do this as a kind of buddy read thing. Anyway, so synopsis. A scream shatters the silence. Courtney Gray's peaceful vacation turns into a nightmare when she discovers her brother and sister-in-law dead in their lakeside cottage. Her niece, Reese, is missing. Her nephew, Wyatt, is asleep upstairs, unharmed. A town full of secrets. As police swarm the quiet resort, dark truths about Courtney's family and the town itself begin to surface. Is Reese a victim or the killer? A truth no one saw coming. With everyone hiding something, Courtney races to uncover the terrible mystery. But the closer she gets, the harder it is to know who or what to trust. So that sounds very interesting. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. And look forward to that 50% video. See you guys when I read this. Thanks. Bye. Hi guys. So, are you reading It's Not Her by Mary Kubica? Okay, if you are, and you're at around 50%, a little bit over, then let's talk theories. So, if you haven't read it, if you want to read it or anything, stop right now, go read, and come back. So, theories. So, one person that I was kind of suspicious from the start was Wyatt, so the couple's son. That's because he has ADHD and he's not on his medication. So he's very dopamine seeking. And also he's selling his medication to funnel his gambling habits. So I was thinking maybe there's something there. He got angry, emotional dysregulation. I have ADHD, so hello. But he shouldn't be selling his meds. That's why he's gambling in it, because he's not taking his meds. Should be taking them. Yeah. Anyway, so that was kind of my first theory. Also because the whole Benadryl thing, kind of fishy. But I think that's a red herring. It just feels like it. It feels too obvious. Then there's sleazy pool boy Danielle, who has been trying to seduce probably all the teenage girls when he's actually a grown-ass adult man pretending to be a teenager. But also, I don't really see him as a killer. He's definitely a sleazeball, and probably, let's just say, there are other stuff he should be going to jail for. But he doesn't strike me as a killer. So my theory is that, what's her name? Greta. Greta Dahl. So she's either like the owner of this resort or some sort of manager of the resort. But she has keys to all the cottages, so she could have gone in and killed them. There's also that whole thing with the graveyard. So when in the flashback part, Reese goes to the graveyard with Danielle at night, and then she goes back during the day, and she notices two graves. One is, I think, what's her called? Jessica. I think it was Jessica. Jessica Clark. So that must be Danielle's mom. And she was 34 when she died in 2019. So that was around actually the time when the other little girl went missing, because there's this whole business with the other girl was probably connected, her disappearance, to the disappearance of Jessie and the whole business. And so she and Danielle, so Greta and Danielle are connected because Greta used to be, I think, friends with Jessica. That's why she's leaving flowers on her grave. And that's why Danielle has this job. But there's also an unmarked grave in that cemetery, and I think that's where the little girl is, sadly, which is very sad. And another thing is that Danielle at one point gives Reese this necklace with beads, and the little girl also had the same necklace. It's either the same, or maybe he's just giving these out to all the girls he's trying to seduce, because I think that's what he was doing with the little girl. And what are you doing at 11, hanging out with a teenager? because he was around. Actually, I think it says somewhere that he was something like 19 at the time. So yeah, what are you doing with messing about with a whole ass grown man? Like, parents. I mean, I'm not victim blaming here, but you have to look better after your girls. And like 11, tell them 11 is way too young to have a boyfriend, especially one that's adult and illegal. So because of the beats, I think somehow Danielle's seduction of this girl is maybe connected to the reason why they keep dying or not. But I think Greta's doing it. Why? I'm not sure, but I think Jessica's death has something to do with it. Don't know what yet. But, so she's my number one suspect, Greta Doll. And we'll see if I'm right or not. See you in the next one. Bye. And let me know your theories. What do you think? Who did it? Put it in the comments. Put a spoiler tag, but tell me, who do you think did it? I want to hear your theories. This is fun. Hi guys! So this is a review of Mary Kubica's It's Not Her. And this was my February pick of the month, which is a book that is fresh that month that comes out. And I read it and review it. So I'm actually looking for recommendations for March. What should I read next month? It has to come out in March. And preferably it should have an audiobook, though that's not a requirement. And if you're an indie author, I would love to see your own book recommended. And if I like it, I may pick it as my book of the month and I'll review it. So let me know. Now, let's move on to the review. So this is a thriller, and this is actually about two families that go on a vacation, a summer vacation, to this resort in the mountains, and they rent two cabins. So these two families are connected because Courtney, the mother in one family, and Nolan, the father in the other family, are brother and sister. And also Nolan's wife, Emily, is Courtney's childhood friend. And that's how Nolan and Emily met. So Nolan and Emily have 3 kids, and Courtney and her husband have 1. And this book is also concerns Reese, who is the oldest child in the 3 kids family. And this book starts out with Courtney finding Emily and Nolan basically bludgeoned to death in their cottage, and Reese is missing. So this is a race against time to see if she can find Reese, and also they want to get out of this place as soon as possible. So this book is very interesting. I gave it 4 stars. I was also very fascinated by the dual point of view. So one point of view is Courtney's, which is starts with the finding of the bodies and follows the investigation from there. Courtney is, of course, trying to find her niece and also trying to figure out who killed her best friend and her brother. And then there's Reese, who is who's the other point of view, but her point of view is actually in the past relative to Courtney's, because her point of view starts out by them coming to the resort and then follows that timeline until the murders and where she is while she's missing. And it was also very interesting because we got a lot of clues, and we get clues from both timelines, and it was a lot of fun following along these clues, trying to gather them myself. And that was actually very refreshing, because nowadays I've read a couple of books which were crime, detective, thriller books, but we don't really see the clues all that well. Sometimes you see kind of a clue, and then it goes like, oh, there's this picture and there's something on it, and or maybe it would even tell you what's on it, but you can't really figure out what's important about it because you don't know the background information. And also another interesting thing was that sometimes Courtney may find something that she thinks is a clue, but then as you follow Reese's timeline, you see how that clue came about, and you realize, oh, it's just something totally harmless. So that was fun. And the ending was a bit shocking. I'm not going to say much. There is a spoiler video that I did of the ending, because I did one video where I talk about, like, it's around the 50% mark. I did a video of my theories as to the solution, and that was a lot of fun to do. And then I did a video of well, how did my predictions, how did my my theories fare against the ending of the book. So that's a spoiler review. Let's talk about the ending. And this is a spoiler free, so I'm just going to say it was pretty shocking. Though I tried to record myself as I was listening to it, but apparently I don't have a shock face. My face was like, yeah, I don't have a shock face. So that was actually kind of funny. That was something that I was trying to do and didn't pan out, but you know, you try. Anyway, so that's it. Great ending. I really loved it. I kind of guessed part of it. Majority I didn't. So, oh well. And I'm very impressed by this author. So I may read more of her books in the future. And we'll see how, when that happens, you'll see a review. So that's it basically for the review. I don't want to spoil things. Oh, audiobook, because I did listen to this as an audiobook, and Courtney's was great. Reese's was, it could have been better, because for some reason the narrator who narrated Reese kind of figured that teenage girls talk like like this. I don't know. I haven't been a teenager in 20 years. Okay, 25 plus. But yeah, I don't think I talked like that. But it was like she was sighing a lot. She was like going like this a lot. I don't know. It was sometimes a bit annoying, but I generally find teenagers annoying nowadays in my old age. So okay, and also something that I have is this little cutie. Isn't this cute? So far, I've read 11 books this year. Now, let's change this to 12 books. Oh. 12 books this year. Anyway, so check out my next book. It's going to be for the Pop Sugar Challenge, and stay tuned for that video. And also, don't forget, if you have any recommendations for my March read, my pick of the month for March, then let me know in the comments. And in the meantime, read my full written review on Goodreads, Storygraph, or my own site, Unapologetic Reviews. And you can follow me, friend me, and all of those things on all of these places. So see you there. And thanks for watching. Bye. Hi, guys. So this is a spoiler review. Well, not even a review. It's a discussion of the ending of It's Not Her by Mary Kubica. And if you haven't read it and you don't want to know the ending, bye. So, are we all okay of knowing the ending now? Okay. So, oh my God. Oh my God, it was the kids. Okay, that was shocking. While I was listening to it, my shocked face was like, so I had a terrible shock face, but oh my God, it was the kids. The kids were the cause of everything, and they don't even realize because they're kids. Ooh, that's going to suck when they grow up. So, like, okay, my theories. So I had the theory that Wyatt wasn't. He wasn't. He was totally innocent in this part of the thing. He's not innocent at all, but he was innocent in this part. And that Danielle didn't kill anyone. That was also correct, interestingly. Because for there, for a minute, we thought that he was the killer of the little girl, but he wasn't. It was the detective. Like, okay, that kind of came out of left field. There were some little hints. I have to admit that this whole, oh yeah, I totally don't know him. And also we didn't know that he grew up on the same street. Well, actually, he was the older brother of the friend of the little girl, and and there was a little. While I was listening to it, I do remember that there was one instance when I was thinking, that girl has a brother. Like, why aren't we hearing about the brother, and where is he? Because the parents were disappeared, like they moved and stuff. But where's the brother? And what maybe he's like, and I was right about that. So it was actually not Danielle she was crushing on, but him. And there was no, bad things going on there. Danielle's still a sleazeball. Does he deserve to go to jail though? Probably not. Though he did say that they got away with a lot of stuff, but it wasn't murder. But also, so let's talk about the main event, Emily's and Nolan's death. So it was the husband of, it was the little girl's dad, which is sad because I think he could plead like, insanity or something like that. But yeah, that was like kind of hard to listen to. That part, I like. I think part of my brain was like turning off during that time because it was a hard scene. And then now, of course, the wife. They did say that they've been together since forever. So I guess now they'll be separated because they're both going to jail. So. Probably the woman will go last, but she was an accomplice. Also, I was right that what's her name, Miss Doll. That Miss Doll was kind of an accomplice, but to the wrong person. And she actually thought that she was Danielle's accomplice, but she wasn't. So I guess that's something. And I also figured out that the grave was the little girl, the unmarked grave. Also, but yeah, the kids did this whole thing. There was some indication with like the picture that the kids actually took that picture that Courtney found. So there were some indications with that, but that the kids were actually the ones who posted to Facebook and who sort of thought that it was a prank. But that little girl would, like, in the future would realize that her innocent prank got her parents killed. So, yeah. That would be, yeah. So sometimes, yeah, kids sometimes do stuff that aren't innocent at all. And in this day and age, I guess part of this book is about the internet age and how kids on the internet can basically ruin lives. And yeah, I think this is something that we, as parents, as Gen Alpha and Gen Beta, I know Gen Beta parent. So as we will have to tackle, which is something that I didn't grow up with it. I was a teen when the internet even became a thing. And when I was a teen, being on the internet was sort of like the geeky thing. So I was a major geek. And even in my 20s, like most people didn't even know how to turn on a computer. Like smartphones came around. Like I got my first smartphone in 2011 and I was 29. I'm that old. So yeah, like I was in my 20s when YouTube was born. So yeah, I came to face with all of these as an adult, and it will be an interesting thing to navigate it as a parent. And also, so yeah, this book we could say that it's partly about the dangers of kids being online. It can get people killed, apparently. But also, I was thinking that it would be interesting to see like in my head, I'm projecting forward. What would Wyatt's future be like in as Courtney being the mother who doesn't know about all this stuff that he's been doing, and Reese could tell her, but will she? Won't she? We don't know. Maybe she will because at the end, when she told Emily, and then Emily finally believed her. Like, also Emily was kind of dropping the ball all over the place. But I can relate because my mom is kind of like that too. Like, oh, what will the neighbors think? Like, I almost gave birth at home. And my mom's biggest concern was, don't scream because what will the neighbors think? The neighbors will think that I'm giving birth. Like, do I look like I care? Anyway, so yeah, so that was actually weirdly relatable. But yeah, I would be curious. So I think Reese would tell Courtney about White's little antics. That he's basically I don't know if I can say this on TikTok. Well, a dealer, and also that he's not taking his meds, which he should be taking. And also, like those little girls will have to be in therapy, especially once they're old enough to realize what they've done. So yeah, it was kind of sad. Like it was a sad ending. And I think it will stick around with me for some time. So what did you think? What did you think about the ending? Let me know in the comments. And watch my other review, like my normal spoiler-free review video as well, and read my written review. And see me with my next book. Thanks for watching. Bye!